come to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Georgianne Nicholson. I'm in Trail. And I'm representing the Heritage South HOA Board. I'm the president of that organization. And I just wanted to thank Mayor Fuller for taking our phone call and helping us out with trying to reach the Wesley Chapel, because almost one-third of our homes are in Wesley Chapel. So we have concerns about retaining walls that are mostly in Wesley Chapel and stormwater retention ponds in Wesley Chapel. And I just wanted to thank you and Emily Hines, who kind of helped us get in touch with you and with other people, as well as engineer Wilson, who did get out twice and look at the retaining walls, look at the stormwater retention ponds, assured us our retaining walls aren't going to fall down. We feel good about that. Thank you. And that we're keeping in mind what can the town, Wesley Chapel do, the village of Wesley Chapel do, concerning the stormwater retention ponds. We know that's under the management of the state, so there's really not much we can do, but we got good direction. We were able to reach people that could help us. So I just wanted to thank everybody that has stepped up and helped us as a brand new board trying to work out what we consider significant problems.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's very nice to hear. And please reach out again to me or Emily, if
I
you,
sure will.
or Bob even.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. It's the camera being crazy. Yeah, just turn it off. It's okay. We get an A for it. Okay. That leads us to the additions, deletions, and adoption of the agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions?
I do.
You do? Okay.
I'd like to add item 5B to the consent agenda regarding the Union County tax collection. They always collect our property taxes, and this is just approving them to do it for another year. And I would like to add item 6B for a budget amendment for FY 25-26 year, and 6C for OSBM grant scope.
OSBM grant scope.
Is C. What was that, Dana?
I thought I was just asking the same thing.
So we have 5B, Union County tax collection, which Amy forwarded, or somebody forwarded. 6B, budget amendment fiscal year 26-27.
No, 25-26.
25-26. And 6C, OSBM grant scope.
Yeah.
Any other changes? All right, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. And now we have the Union County Sheriff's Office report.
All right, I have the months of May, June, and July reports. I'll start with May. For May, there were 38 traffic accidents, 21 disturbances, 3 domestic disturbances, 1 larceny, 2 poisonings that could be overdoses, intentional overdoses, 28 radar patrols, and 1 shoplifter, 3 shots fired call, 1 suicide attempt, 2 suicide threats, 16 suspicious persons calls, 11 suspicious vehicle calls, 56 traffic stops, 3 trespassings, and 6 well-being checks. And altogether in the month of May, there were 1,181 calls. Any questions or comments, concerns for the month of May?
No, sir.
All right. For June, there were 18 traffic accidents, 1 assault, 2 cardiac arrest calls, 13 disturbances, 7 radar patrols, 1 shoplifter, 2 shots fired calls, 2 suicide attempts, 7 suspicious person, 3 suspicious vehicle calls, 30 traffic stops, 9 trespassing calls, and 10 well-being checks. And altogether in May, there was 1,120 calls altogether. And that's all I have highlighted for the month of June. Any questions, comments, concerns there? All right. In July, there were 32 traffic accidents, 1 assault, 2 burglaries, 17 disturbance calls, 6 domestic disturbances, 2 larceny of vehicles, 2 larcenies, 1 poisoning, 43 radar patrols, 3 shoplifters, 1 suicide attempt, 2 suicide threats, 5 suspicious person and 5 suspicious vehicle calls, 133 traffic stops, 1 trespassing, and 8 well-being checks. And that altogether in July, there were 1,273 calls. And that's all I have highlighted for all 3 of those months. Any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns?
Any trends in the statistics that you are concerned about or watching?
The e-bikes and the e-motos, they're everywhere. A couple weeks ago, there was a kid, the little street behind Chick-fil-A. He was coming through the stop sign, didn't stop. He nailed a car inside, and he flipped over the car. Luckily, he didn't get hurt too bad, but I ended up towing his bike because, you know, it was a dirt bike. You got to have insurance and registered and all that. But the frustrating part is the parents got there and they just seemed like they could care less. So that's the frustrating part on our end. So you try to educate them, and they seem like it goes in one ear and out the other. So, I mean,
Has the sheriff's office pursued recommending some sort of ordinance for Union County regarding e-bikes? So it'd be countywide, so it wouldn't just be town by town?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because it seems like that would be the better way to
Well,
get something we could enforce.
the frustrating and confusing part on our end is, as far as the e-motos, the dirt bikes, those are pretty cut and dry. The e-bikes is still technically considered a bike because it has pedals. So obviously we're still learning as we go on, like how, okay, if they're under a certain wattage,
Right.
and it's like that crap's
Yeah.
posted on
I-
the bike, so it's like, how do you?
Yeah, I read an article about it. It says like basically like 3 classes, and some of it's like the speed it can go, and the fact that we all refer to them as e-bikes doesn't help, and that probably the majority of people don't even know what they're buying,
Yeah.
to be real. And I have seen a lot of articles and things about cities and towns wanting to do something about the problem, and I thought for our situation, that being countywide makes more sense than town.
Yeah, I haven't heard of anything being
Yeah.
enacted or whatever, so.
Brandon, going back to the monthly reports, it looked like the only one category that was significantly different between the 3 months was traffic stops. And that was for the month of July. Was that a county initiative or was that a Brandon initiative?
Mostly me.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna say there weren't other deputies that obviously they stopped cars in here, but for the majority of them, they were me.
Okay.
So,
And most of that was speeding, I guess? Yeah. Okay.
the majority of it. Been getting a lot of complaints on Culberson Road. So I've been concentrating my efforts there. Most of them, like past month or so, I would say I've been hitting Culberson pretty hard. And I would say, the stretch from Newtown to the library is 35, and I would say the average speed on there is 45 to 50, easily. And it amazes me, a lot of people are like, well, I didn't know the speed limit.
Is the sign visible?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Or it's like, I'm not from here. I'm like, well,
Well, some
He
of the
doesn't sign
signs
there.
aren't visible because of the trees and stuff, that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
the
no,
sign's
they're
visible,
Yeah, they're visible.
Well, and school's about to start, so you're about to get calls from Champion Forest for the kids turning around again, upset people on Shamwood, so it's about to get.
And thank God they didn't eliminate Mr. Kevin's spot.
We are very lucky that we managed to hold on to Mr. Holder.
Yeah. 24th is school, right?
What?
24th, school goes back.
Yep. So get ready, people. Leave 10 minutes earlier, maybe 20.
I was gonna say 10.
Direct all complaints to Jonathan Aliff at. Any further questions for Brandon?
No, I do want to say that I've noticed that there's been extra patrols on Indian Trail Waxhaw Highway, which makes me very happy because I am tired of getting passed on that road when there
Which
is no
section?
passing. Just past Hunter's Point, so right as you're leaving Wesley Chapel and going into Indian Trail.
One more.
You gotta be careful because they put that concrete median there.
Well, I mean, just anywhere along that road, I've been passed multiple times going the speed limit.
Yeah. Well, it's been a few months ago, I was coming down 84 and there was a lady in front of me and I don't know if she didn't look at me or didn't see me back there, but she just thought it was okay to pass the person in front of her in front of Pinnacle there. I'm like, all right, well, you bought and paid for that one, so. But it's just, people are in a hurry, don't pay attention, and it's all about them, about me. I gotta get there quick, so.
Well, I've
But yes,
seen you around the village a lot
I
this
have
summer.
been, I've been doing 84 some. I got a kid at 70 out here the other day. And it's just, there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I've been just trying to up an effort, especially on Culberson and 84 and stuff like that. So
Well, I've seen your presence, so thank you.
thank you, appreciate it. Good.
Any further questions for Brandon? All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate your service.
Actually, I mean, can I get your business card real quick? I think you gave me one at one point, and I don't remember.
You don't have, you want the right
That's
time?
fine. I'll get you. I'll email you. Right, thank you.
All right. So now that leads us to the consent agenda. So if I could have a motion to approve the 2 items on the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Now the finance report. I'll turn it over to our finance officer.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I had asked to have copies of the FY 25-26 budget. So for information purposes, until the 24-25 audit is finished, we won't have an accurate balance sheet or income statement rolling into FY 25-26, and until FY 25-26 audit is complete, we won't really have a balance sheet. So what we're going to be concentrating on this year are the budget reports, and I had asked to have copies of those for you guys. I'll get them mailed to you, the drafts for you. That we have planned to have those, and had planned to have July ready, but when the meeting is, earlier in the month, it makes that a little tighter with working only a couple of days a week, so don't have those for you, but I had hoped to. In terms of a budget amendment, so as we were looking at the FY 25-26 final budget, we had bills that came in that got paid in mid-July because remember Howard was out the first 2 weeks of July. Things that got accrued into June. Once those items, they were 2 large engineering bills from Labella. And once they got accrued, then we were over budget in the planning and development account. And so I would like to have a motion to move $18,200 from Parks and Rec special activities to planning and development professional services for the FY 25-26 fiscal year, so that we end the year, because by law we are supposed to be balanced. And FY 25-26 has not been closed out yet.
So is there a motion to make the budget amendment as stated?
So motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
Assuming that we have those funds available.
Oh, yeah, there's 22,000 in the Parks and Rec
Okay.
special activities left, and so that gets us out. Yes?
Just, have you accounted for the bills that were not paid for the mulch from March, April, May?
There's plenty of money in Parks and Rec budget
Okay.
for last year.
Just always drain that out and
Yeah.
then put the mulch bills that were not
Right.
paid.
Yeah, we didn't have the notification of any of those bills, so they didn't get paid on time. So vote before I keep talking.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Unanimous?
All right, thank you.
All right, just to clarify, so $18,200 from Parks and Rec special activities to planning and development,
Professional services,
professional services.
FY 25-26.
Okay, thanks.
And so hopefully we'll be closing out 25-26 shortly. The next item I added to the agenda was OSBM grant. So, in looking at the grant and talking, because of the fish situation, I had to call and talk to the liaison at the grant people. And so in talking to him, it gave me a chance to ask a lot of questions, and you've got a copy on your desk. When the original scope was done, the original scope of work was about the grant being used to pay the village's match part for a FEMA grant. And that scope was never updated, even though we proceeded to do a whole bunch of other work that was not within the scope. And so he's like, well, you need to update your scope of work. And so what I've done is documented that. And in talking to him, I said, I was really looking to get this thing closed out so that we can get over it and quit spending money managing it administratively and everything else. And so in talking to him, he goes, well, your grant scope, the grant award was pretty broad for park improvements. And so as we were talking, basically we can take and reclassify items from the mini golf course as well as anything else related to the pond that we didn't capture the first time on reimbursements and Lowe's bills. And the pump controller, that was a capital expenditure, we could legitimately use the grant funds for that. And so I checked with the auditor and with our NCLM representative for the accounting software and asked about that. And they're like, yeah, because you haven't closed out the year, you can do that. So what I'm recommending is that we reclassify expenses from Fund 10 to Fund 31, which is the fund designations for our general fund and our OSBM grant fund, so that we can reclassify the expenses spent on the mini golf course, the ones where we have good receipts. That's very clear because we could be audited for 5 years after the grant is closed. So I want to make sure there are expenses that are really good and clear. Some of the expenses, screws and nails and stuff like that's probably not worth trying to, do some of that. But also that covers the synthetic turf and the screenings that went down. There were 2 big bills for it. And then reclassify those into Fund 31 using the grant funds. And essentially what that will do for us is build our fund balance a little bit more. Also, we'll have in July, I have to report the fish purchase. And then after that, these reclassifications should expend all the grant funds to where then I can pursue closing the grant within September timeframe, probably August, September timeframe. And we'll be done with it and not have to worry about it anymore. And so what I was looking for was a motion to approve the reclassification of expenditures from Fund 10 to Fund 31 related to the pond, the mini golf course, the pond pump controller, in an amount equal to the remaining grant funding.
Do we know how much total it was with the interest of anything?
Yeah, on the back of the document. I had to estimate, and since a lot of this has come in, it looks like we've made about $16,000 in interest, which is pretty good that it's set there, so that was helpful. And so you're supposed to do this before you do anything, so me trying to put in the numbers and make them equal out, but not be to the penny because it's supposed to, an estimate and blah, blah, blah. So That's kind of how it really breaks down. Because the 250 for the contract services and expenses you can see below, most of that was the sedimentation removal and then engineering, and then the mini golf stuff would be that 13,000. Or the other stuff, mini and pump control or whatever.
All right.
So, yeah.
So do I hear a motion to move things from fund? Or you have some questions?
No questions, but I'm probably waiting on you for the right verbiage.
Motion to move things from fund 30 to 2?
Tell them just read the bottom one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I got it. Okay. So motion to approve the reclassification of expenditures from Fund 10 to Fund 31 related to the pond mini golf course, pond pump controller, and the amount equal to the remaining grant funding. That's my motion.
Is there a second?
I will gladly second that.
Any further discussion?
Any questions?
Okay.
Okay. And just kind of along those lines, I had I have to do a report every 6 months on our cash balances. And so I had to do it effective June 30th. And so on June 30th, we had not paid, or the check had not been cashed for the sedimentation removal. And looking at our total cash balance from over the course of a year, it had only changed like $7,000. So that says, you know, if it's your checkbook, it means that you took in $7,000 more than you took out. And that's all that our fund balance went up over the year. So that's really pretty close. And that was the first year of the tax increase. So the official audit with the balance sheet updates, financial statement updates, and all will give us much more clarity of what that actual fund balance is. So,
Have we heard anything from the auditors?
no, should hear something this month.
We need to close out our vote.
All in favor? I thought I did. Unanimous.
Good work on that, Lori. That was, I'm glad that we're closing this out. I'm also glad that we're getting all the money that we
Yeah,
were
and
due.
it's all legit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, is that he's like, it's broad, it's park improvements, and I'm like, I think a mini golf course is an improvement.
The
So,
citizens, they'll agree.
why not? So, anyway. thank
Yes,
you.
sir, John?
I was under the understanding that Kathy had advised OSMB of the change to the pond clean out, because I had a long discussion with her about that, and it was supposed to have been done. Apparently not.
She may have talked to him, but nothing in writing.
The paperwork was not updated.
So, we just basically started over and put down everything we've done.
Thank you. Thank you both for your hard work getting that money spent. Any questions for the finance officer before we move on? Okay, so that brings it to me. The good news is I did submit the ARPA now SLFRF funds to be closed out. So hopefully that grant will be gone and closed out too. You also saw the code enforcement report. I continue to get a few emails or complaints, and again, I am encouraging people to reach out directly to Charles Solar with Alliance, because they are handling that for us, and he gets on it pretty quickly. Amy, I have noticed an uptick of signs over the last 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know when he's doing his next sign sweep, but I didn't want to bother you last week when you were in training.
Oh, sure. I think this past weekend was good this week.
Okay, well, good. Maybe he got a lot of them, because a lot of them were builder signs out. So I was hoping he was going to.
Any particular area?
Right, all on 84.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fire district update. I did get feedback from Lee, and hopefully we'll get that started. As soon as I told him I had emailed and hadn't got a response, he jumped right on it. So hopefully work will start towards that. We did get our first invoice from the MAPS group today as they start work on our personnel policy and job description update. And CRTPO, Jonathan has kindly offered to serve as the alternate for David because he works really close to the Charlotte Government Building or Mecklenburg County Government Building. So he was going to fill out the paperwork to become.
Already done.
Okay.
Done with it.
So what we need now is a motion from council to appoint Jonathan to the alternate position for CRTPO.
All for that. So motion.
Second.
And discussion, he needs you to cover the October? September?
No, I think September.
He'll get with you. He needs you to cover
Of
me.
course.
So all in favor for that motion? Unanimous?
Do we need to approve anything on the MAPS grant?
I thought we approved it last month.
Okay.
We approved, if I'm not crazy, we approved using the
For me to
MAPS
look at
group
the
and
minutes.
for me going ahead and applying for the grant to pay $2,500. Because I did get that paperwork and hope to have it finished this week.
I just couldn't remember if we did the grant piece. I know we talked about applying for it, but I didn't remember the full scope. I'm sorry. When I read the minutes, I didn't pay attention.
You can check for us?
I am.
I think we did.
I could pull up what the motion was too.
And I think really all I have to do is write a letter of support, explaining that the project is updating our personnel policy and that we're requesting the $2,500 grant to pay for part of it. It's not very complicated. Well, just
Yes.
we did.
Yes,
okay.
we did. We did 3 separate motions.
I thought
To approve them to do it, to fund the expenditures and the grant.
So hopefully I can report back to you that we maybe received it next month. Deb is not here tonight, but she did give me her updates. She wanted me to invite everyone to walk out to see the plaque in front of the village's 250th anniversary Freedom Oak tree. It's the one with the decorations out in front. And also she has met with the local chapter of the NC Wildlife Federation to begin the journey down the Butterfly Highway and following up on the mayor's Monarch Pledge. So she will be reporting out at future council meetings on the progress on those 2 projects. Amy, do you want to talk about National Night Out?
Just real briefly, it will be Tuesday, October 6th, 5 to 8 p.m. in front of Harris Teeter. We're starting to plan the event and looking for Aston themselves. They will handle the business partnerships, again, them involved. We haven't finalized food yet. Hopefully Harris Teeter will be willing to help with that, but they have new management and I think things might be a little bit different this year.
I've heard a little bit. What was the
So-
date? The date, Amy?
I'm sorry?
What date?
October 6th. School of Rock will be providing music again, so I think they really added a lot to it last year. And from what I understand, I think last Tuesday might have been rained out. I wasn't here in town, so I think it was rained out last Tuesday was the main event nationwide. So hopefully that might increase attendance in October for us. So
Which shopping center did you say?
Village Commons, right in front of Harris Teeter.
Okay, well, they're both Village Commons. I was like, that.
In front of Harris
Yeah,
Teeter.
thanks. Thought that's what you said.
So if there's any ideas or something you would like to see, just let me know.
And anybody who wants to help Amy set up and take down, feel free to attend.
I'll help Amy.
Thank you.
Depending on the weather, I think we should have a mayoral dump tank.
I do want to have it done. I would love to have a dunking booth, but October's always, it's always been hot, I think, last couple of years.
This year, leading year, it's like 28 degrees.
Yes, that'd be an expense, not a, yeah. I mean, how would even be the dunking?
I don't care. I mean, at this point, it doesn't. I'd be dunked. It's fine. $5 a duck. Though. $5 a dunk. Any questions for Amy? Mark your calendars, please. That moves us to the broker qualifications for the village, for the sale of village land. Can't talk. Emily reached out to 2 people that were recommended, and then we only had the 2, so I reached out to 2 friends in the realtor industry and got a name, and have played tag and not called back and forth. So Emily forwarded the first qualifications to you. So I don't know how much further council wants us to go. Emily was very impressed with the one that she sent the qualifications to. She thought that she asked the right questions and would be completely capable of handling the project. And then option 2 never reached back out to us. And option 3 would refer us to, we played back and forth, and he would refer us, I think, to the division of his larger business that handles that type of work. So I didn't know if council would be comfortable moving forward to the one that we shared the credentials for, or if you had any questions or wanted to speak with her directly. I think her name was Catherine McFalls.
It doesn't sound like they're beating down our doors to come.
No. I don't think we're that enticing of a project.
And so if we got somebody well qualified and Emily and talking to them and their understanding of our project and everything.
Emily was completely confident. She was like, do you want me to reach out to more people? I think this lady is confident. And I said, no, council would want us to reach out to 3 people. So we have reached out to 3 people. 1, you have the qualifications. 1, no response. And 1, phone tag.
Catherine is the direct reason why I am a resident of Wesley Chapel. So
Well, she's good at her job.
I've known her for many years, and she is, not only is she good at her job, but she's also a very good person.
So I'm comfortable if we want to move forward with her, or if we want to wait till this guy could get somebody from his firm to respond to us and compare. I'd just like to get moving on it.
Yeah, I want to get moving. Wise one?
No, just looking over her resume. So she's local to Charlotte. We don't know if she's local to Wesley Chapel or not, but that's probably immaterial.
I can tell you this much, she grew up in the area.
Okay.
She grew up no more than a mile and a half from where I live now.
Oh, wow. Okay. And even though she doesn't list the years that she had with her experience, she says that she has 21 years of real estate experience. So yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we want to get it going.
She's also incredibly involved in the local community, Red Cross. Like even though she doesn't live in Union County, she is still highly involved in Union County.
And I can collect the other guy's information in case something were to fall through. We'd have our backup. Because we know sometimes things don't go according to our plan A.
So, and I know Emily's not here to tell us about her conversation, but does she think that the next step would be signing some sort of contract with Catherine to represent us, the sale, or getting an appraisal, or just getting a what?
I'll look at our kind attorney over there. So if we hired the broker, what would be the next step? Or would the next step be officially signing?
So you'd want to, It's a part of the conversation with the broker you decide to hire, you discuss the listing agreement and what that looks like. And probably as a part of that, the broker is going to give you maybe not a formal broker opinion of value, but at least talk about what a price looks like for the property, what it's worth, comparables, that kind of thing. And so you can kind of move towards that, ultimately signing a listing agreement that's going to specify some range for the list price. So that would probably be next. You don't need to get you can if you want, engage a real estate appraiser to actually appraise a property, you can absolutely do that. Obviously, that's going to cost a little something, but you can get, if you've got a knowledgeable and broker you depend on who has good knowledge of the real estate market in the area, you probably get just as good a value out of that for nothing, because they're depending on the commission ultimately. So again, up to you. Doesn't seem like you need I don't think that's a particularly tricky piece of property in terms of what its value is worth. You know, there might be a difficulty in gaining some comparables for sale because of you just got big shopping centers around, so that might be a little difficult. But an appraiser's going to have the same difficulty.
Well, we got Taco Bell that sold for a pretty penny.
So is there any
50,000.
restrictions or concerns about the type of listing agreement we would sign? I'm like, like when you sign for you're selling your house, it's like, oh, we'll do this period of time, that period. For municipality, is there any?
Yeah, probably not. Other than I think we'll want to add the typical stuff we have to add in to the contracts, but also something that any offer, any acceptance is subject to following the procedures for private negotiation and sale under the statutes. So that will be a tweak to it as opposed to just the general, because most of those listing agreements for residential, like if you sign a contract, you can end up technically being liable for the commission, which you don't want in this circumstance, because you could sign a contract with a buyer and then somebody come and upset bid it. So there's some tweaks to it, but for the most part, what the broker would present to you as their listing agreement is going to be mostly acceptable, I would guess.
Yeah. And as far as the time frame, then it's like we decide if we want to go with them for 3-6 months or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing that really dictates that other than what you all want to do from a practical purpose.
So I take this as the next step should be, if council agrees to go with this person, I reach out, or I have Emily reach out and get the listing contract and the supposed value or listing price, and then bring that to George and then to council.
Yeah, I think that's right, from my perspective.
So for tonight, I would need council to make a motion to begin working with Catherine McFalls regarding the sale of the village land.
So motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? And then I'll make sure it gets to Lori for the pre-audit language, George to review all the things, and then hopefully we can bring it back to council in September with that. I don't know how quickly she works, but it'd be great to go ahead and have that value or the listing price.
I'm not sure that I know how to state this, but I think it would probably be in our best interest to have a plan B and to continue conversations with this possible third party that there's still some back and forth with.
Okay.
Just so that we've got some comparison. I mean, Catherine comes back and says that she wants 30% of the sale price, and we've got somebody else who wants 6%. And
yeah, I mean that's the thing is we have no idea what a commercial representation kind of contract might look like. So.
And to your point earlier, we have had things fall through. The first choice fall through. I think it'd be wise to go ahead and have the second choice, or a backup plan in place. Is that, I
Okay.
mean, is that,
I think
is
that's
that
fair.
realistic?
We could vote on this motion and then have another one to proceed with continuing a conversation with Plan B to find out what their,
So should we amend this to grant you permission to enter into negotiations with Catherine with final board approval in September?
I don't know that I would negotiate just so much as bring it straight to you. Maybe ask her to be present if she, maybe ask her to be present.
Yeah.
And then, but would I ask plan option C for also what their what their percentage would be?
I think
How does that work?
I think David makes a good point, is that we continue the conversations with this other third party, and like you said, it's our plan B, keep it in our back pocket, but should give us some feel for, and especially if it's a section of their firm that deals in commercial, they should be able to pretty readily tell us
Yeah.
what it would cost us.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah. So what we'll do is go ahead and vote on this motion for Emily to reach out to Catherine to draft a listing agreement with the commission percentage and to come hopefully to the September meeting. And then after we vote on this, have a motion for me to continue reaching out to option C for comparison data. Okay, so all in favor on working with Catherine? Unanimous? And then David, do you want to make that second motion?
Motion that we continue conversations with other interested parties to serve as a comparison.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right. And that brings us to the HVAC.
Between Amy's training, my vacation, and HVAC companies' vacations, we've got updates from the two previous HVAC subcontractors. And a third one came by today to look at the unit, and we're waiting on him to present a proposal. Our hopes are that we'll have one or two others too, just to compare to, but at this point we don't have proposals to submit to council saying these are our options. We will next month.
Okay.
And we'll cross our fingers that it works, continues to work from now until then.
Feels good in here now.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, David. Any questions for David? That leads us to the Dogwood Park report. Mr. Lepke?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just a few things to talk about. A couple of weeks ago, we had a gate issue. Amy had a report that following an electrical storm, the gate wasn't working. That's happened before. I went, checked. The breaker was tripped. I threw the breaker. Usually that fixed it. And then about 2 weeks ago, I thought, I'm driving past the park at 8:30 after dropping my wife off. I'll just make sure the gate is closing. I drive by, the gate is open. So I go into the park. There are two cars in the park. It's after 9:30. Amanda was aware. I kept Amanda aware by text. It's a funny story. So there's two cars in the park. I walk around down to the amphitheatre, onto the fishing pier. I check all the light areas. Don't see anybody. Two cars in the parking lot. But I can't close them in because I know the sheriff's department won't be able to open the gate because the keypad isn't working. The gate's just not working. The traffic sensor isn't working. So I set my car alarm off like 10 times, trying to get these people out of wherever they are up to the parking. Nobody shows. So back and forth with Amanda, we think it's probably best we advise the sheriff's office that there are 2 cars there, the people may show up, they won't be able to get out, and the sheriff won't be able to open the gate, so they're basically locked in overnight. Sheriff's department said, let me send somebody out. We've got somebody close by. Sheriff comes out, tell him the whole story about setting the car alarm off. He says, let's see if this works. Turns his lights and his siren on. He blasts his siren around the park. We stand waiting another 10 minutes, nobody comes. Deputy says, you want me to call a tow truck? You're within your rights to have these cars towed out here. I said, no, that's going to be really expensive for the people. He said, well, just close the gate and lock them in. I said, but you guys won't be able to get them out. He said, it's okay. If I show up, I'm going to tell him, call for a ride. I can't open the gate. So that's how we leave it for a few minutes. I go home, like 10 o'clock, start making my dinner. Ring, 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 sheriff's department. Oh, the people have showed up and they've called, they're locked in the park. Can you go let them out? I'm like, oh, okay. So I'll turn the oven off, drive to the park. Then on the way to the park, the sheriff's office called me and says, do not go in the park until the deputy gets there. We don't want any confrontation with these people, just wait. So fortunately I arrive at the same time as the deputy. We go in, it's a young couple, claim they fell asleep and they didn't hear the police sirens and they didn't hear my car alarm. The officer had already asked me at the gate, do you want me to give him a ticket for trespass? And I said, let's just go talk to him and tell him, slap him on the wrist, tell him don't do that again. So we did. They were very embarrassed. I don't know what they were up to. But they were in the park late. We got them out, closed the gate. Then the next day I got the gate company out, so if you haven't had the invoice yet from 3M Gate Company, you will be getting it. He came out one day, diagnosed the situation as the relay for the traffic sensor was fried. So he didn't have the parts to fix it. He came back the next day and fixed it, got the gate back working again. So for a couple of days, I have to go out early in the morning, open the gate, go late at night, go close the gate after I check nobody's in the park anymore. But I think people kind of looked on Facebook and saw that people had been locked in, and I didn't have another issue with people staying late that night. So that was the gate story. So you will be getting an invoice. I got no idea how much it's going to be. They had to replace the relay that controls the traffic center. The fish arrived. I shared David's concerns with the fish delivery guy. He said, no, they've all been acclimatized. There's going to be no fish kill. So we released the fish. They all swam away happily. The mosquito fish, they're only about this big, but apparently they eat their own weight in a day of mosquito larvae, and they're soon to be this big. They are mature after 2 to 4 weeks, and every female will start laying 20 to 100 little ones, and they'll start going like crazy. Take care of them. But the bluegill are there. If there's too many of them, the bluegill we put in will balance the population of the mosquito fish. So I have noticed not so many little frogs around, and I have noticed not so many tadpoles in the pond now. I haven't noticed any decrease in the number of mosquito bites I'm getting, but I'm sure there's less. The last thing I want to talk to council about is, you will recall at budget time you guys okayed $2,000 for container organization stuff. All that stuff is available from Lowe's, but if I follow the $500 a month rule, it's going to take me 4 months and 4 trips going back and forth to Lowe's to get this job done. So what I am asking council to do is say an exception to the $500 rule to get that $2,000 worth of stuff that you approved in the budget. It went in the supplies line. And then so for, what month are we in, August? So for August, can I have an exemption to go to 2,500, the 500 normal plus the 2,000 for the stuff I need?
For the storage container organization.
I would make the motion that we approve John to make this $2,000 expenditure for container storage at one time, irregardless of his limit.
I'll second.
That was me, Amy, sorry. Broke my voice there.
So he could still spend his regular money if he needed it. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? We would love pictures of the final storage.
Anything else? And just a heads up, last 2 weeks of September I'm going to be in England.
Big Dave's ready
But
to.
the big date's going to be around, so we got it covered.
Thank you, John. That leads us to mayor and council comments. You have 6 minutes.
I'll make it easy. No comments from me.
Who wants to go next?
I'm going to take the more words of Mr. David and say, no words from you.
No comments other than thank you for letting us out early.
Thank you to our 3 attendees. It is so nice to have people join us and for somebody to say nice things to us. We're not used to that. So thank you for that. It made my whole week. Thank you.
Glad to help.
So I will take a motion to adjourn.
A motion.
All in favor? Oh, second.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Everybody have a great evening.